Hi everyone, I'm out here on a blustery day in between rain showers, or in fact downpours, and I thought I would grab a few moments to do a quick front garden tour because I've been asked how the front garden's doing. Apparently I haven't shown it very often, so here is the front garden tour. My name's Annette, this is Cottoverdi. Enjoy our front garden. Bear in mind it has been raining pretty much solidly for 3 days, so everything is not looking its best. It's sodden all around and everything's a bit droopy. So at the front here we've got some sceptred R roses. I've got 3 planted here and they are having such a good time. In fact, most of my roses are having a really good summer. So they're blooming like crazy. So sceptred R make these really nice ball-shaped roses. They've got loads and loads of petals and they're a really lovely soft gentle pink colour. But I've got some really tall stems that I'm going to have to do something about. I mean, there's another one here that's just growing all the way out here because they're going to blow around in the winter, so I'll probably have to do a little bit of pruning there. You can see there's loads of Verbena bonariensis and I just let it self-seed everywhere. I really like the combination of the purple and the pink, and I think it really lights up the front of this border, or in fact the front garden at this time of year. In fact, all summer long, it's really nice. I've also got 2 Princess Alexandra of Kent roses here. They've just been deadheaded, so actually they've been flowering like crazy. We've just got a few flowers left, but over here the sedum is out. So this is sedum Autumn Joy and it's just about to turn pink. I've got a few gaps actually. I really want to fill this space in with more sedum, so I might well take some cuttings. The Penstemon Garnet is putting on some more flowers. That's looking really nice. And this is a Hydrangea grandiflora over here that I planted last year. That's doing quite well. This is a Hyperica Magical Sunshine. So it's got a lot of dark berries from the last time it flowered, but actually it's just finished flowering again. So I've also got on here some new berries. So it flowers with these yellow flowers and then the berries turn colour afterwards, and there are quite a few of them. So I've had like a second flush on this plant this year. So in this corner we've got some hosta that are doing really well. They're the least slug damaged hosta we've got in the garden, which is quite nice to see. I've got another one over here though. These are blue mouse ears and for some reason they're not very blue, so I don't know whether they're getting too much sun or they haven't had enough shade. But they should be sort of the same colour as these ones here. So these are blue mouse ears here, and then these ones over here, they're just a bit yellow, and I'm not sure why. And then along this fence line, I've got 3 hydrangea limelights, and they're doing okay considering how little rain we've had, but we have got an irrigation system here. So in fact, they probably did okay just because we managed to water them a little bit. Over in this corner, it's much shadier. We've got this huge wall here that provides a lot of shade. We've got some Japanese anemones here that are spreading and doing really well. Here we've got Joe Pyeweed, Eupatorium, and I've got some more Japanese anemones here. These ones aren't doing as well, and I think it's because we had a load of weeds in this bed actually, and so when we cleared the weeds out, we probably ripped out quite a lot of what needed to be in there. And then as we move down here, we've got the Garrya elliptica, which flowered amazingly last year, had so many tendrils on it. But we've also got lots of gorgeous hydrangeas and some dahlias. So these hydrangeas are called Van Needle-Fraise, and they start off white and then they turn this gorgeous shade of pink. And then these dahlias, every single dahlia in this border is facing the wrong way, and I think that is because the sun comes from that direction. So we're facing south at the moment, so dahlias don't do well in this border, I've decided. I planted lots of red dahlias in this border. So this dahlia is called Dilys Ailing and it is really gorgeous, a lovely collarette dahlia. Let me find a fresher bloom. You can see that I haven't deadheaded very much. We've also got a really tall Karma Naomi here. So because we haven't deadheaded well enough, it's kind of falling over, but this is such a pretty, gorgeous colour. It's not really bright red, it's more sort of on the purpley red range. I probably should have included it in my purple dahlias video. Then next to Karma Naomi, this one over here is called Amy Cave. And Amy Cave is gorgeous, and I definitely should have included this in my purple dahlias video. And Amy Cave goes really, really well with the hydrangea vanille phrase. It's just looking so pretty. I mean, ignore the ones that need deadheading, but look how gorgeous that flower is. It's so, so pretty. And then this one over here, which really is deep red, next to the hosta flower, this red one over here is called Mingus Alex. And they are huge, fluffy, red flowers. So, so pretty. But just going back to Amy Cave for a minute, I mean, they're just gorgeous. And this one's Karma Naomi. Everything goes so beautifully with this hydrangea. These ones here facing the driveway, these are also all Amy Cave. I'm really sorry that I haven't deadheaded before I did this tour, but I really wanted to run out here and show you everything before it started raining again. And we do have a couple of Canterbury bells that are also flowering at the moment. They're looking a little bit sad, so I did deadhead them, but it's just a little bit of colour at this time of year, which is quite nice. So we've just walked all the way around the back borders here, and this is where the vanilla phrase are behind the red dahlias. And then here at the front, this rose is called Little White Pet. I've got 3 of them along here, and they are covered in buds. It's the beginning of September, and I cannot believe quite how many buds there are on these roses. So this has definitely been the year of the rose. They're absolutely covered. In about a week or two's time, there's going to be another massive flush of these gorgeous little white roses. And then if we move around here, past the Pittosporum, we've got some more anemones in full flower, and of course all leaning over because we've forgotten to support everything this year. But they're looking really pretty. I love the colour, and I don't mind that they're falling over. I've rushed out here in between rain showers. It's been raining for like 3 days because somebody has asked about how my harlequin trellis is going with the Trachlyspermum jasminoides, or star jasmine. And I thought it's been a really long time since I've showed everybody how much it's grown. So I'm going to turn around and show you. So it's looking pretty good. It's kind of almost halfway up the wall, but you know, we've got wires that go all the way up to here. So it's got quite a bit more to do, but actually I'm really pleased. And I just come along every so often and just twirl the branches around the wires. I'll show you what I do. So every so often I just grab one of these and just twirl it round and kind of weave it through. I could tie it in, but I think it's not necessary because it does just sort of wind itself round on its own. But yeah, it's really easy to just wind them round. So that's all I do. I'm sort of growing it up the trellis as fast as I can, really. I don't pay too much attention to it. We haven't fed them. I'm really hoping that I get loads of lovely flowers next year. We really didn't have very many this year. The plants were quite small when it was flowering. They've kind of put this growth on during the summer. And despite the heat waves and the lack of rain we've had, we have watered occasionally, but there's no irrigation system here. So we just bring a hose out occasionally and just put some water in because it's been so dry. Otherwise I wouldn't normally. And there is quite a lot of growth at the bottom, which I am going to have to snip off probably this winter because I don't want it growing all over the soil and the ground. I'll show you. So where each plant is, we've got 3 plants here. There's quite a lot of growth on the ground. So I think we can probably just snip off the bits that are coming out this way and then let the rest grow up. There's so many branches growing up 3 plants was definitely enough for this spot here. So this has kind of turned into a full front garden tour. So I thought I'd show you the James Galway on the front of the house. They've all had 2 or 3 flushes this year. There are still a few on this one. There's quite a lot of roses on there, and there are just a few on the one by the front door. But they are absolutely massive. They're climbing across my daughter's window there. It's lucky that she lives in the States and she's not at home, or she'd be quite annoyed. But talking about, roses climbing across windows, now is a really good time to cut back or tie in any of these long, dangly branches on the roses before the winter storms set in, because otherwise all those branches are going to break. So I will be doing a video about that in the very near future. So this is the central rose bush, and this has got loads of flowers on it at the moment. It also obviously needs deadheading, so we're going to have to get up a ladder and do that. But we'll do that when we're also tying things in for the winter. So this is the kind of thing that we want to avoid, is all these branches on the ground. They're just going to break, and then disease will enter into the rose. We don't want that. So they really need to be tied back. I can't believe I've let them get to this state, to be honest with you. So that's our quick front garden tour for this week. I'm sorry I haven't named absolutely every plant, but if they weren't in flower, I guess I just didn't really talk about them. I think the important thing is just to see what's flowering in September. This is the very beginning of September that I filmed this video. Anyway, I really hope you've had fun, found it interesting and useful. Maybe you're inspired to plant something gorgeous like red or purple dahlias with a vanilla fraise hydrangea. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous combination. And, the Verbena bonariensis goes really well with anything pink, particularly the rose sceptred isle. But there are many other things that it looks fantastic with. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.